Did you know the VW Beetle was originally designed by Hitler's request, and went on to become a peace symbol of the 60s? Let's dive into the iconic Bug, a legend on wheels. The Volkswagen Beetle is one of the most recognizable cars ever built. Launched in 1938, it captured the world's heart with its quirky design, reliability, and surprising versatility. We're talking about a car that's been around the block a few times, folks. From pre-war Germany to the summer of love, this little car has seen it all. So buckle up because we're taking this iconic car for a spin through history. Now, you don't get to be an automotive icon without a little help from some big names. And in the case of the Beetle, that name was Ferdinand Porsche. Yeah, Porsche. The guy who practically invented the sports car also had a hand in creating this little people's car. See, Hitler wanted a car that was affordable and practical for the German people, something they could use to cruise down the Autobahn on their way to, conquer the world and whatnot. And who better to design it than the engineering genius behind some of the fastest cars in the world? Porsche delivered, creating a car that was simple, reliable, and dare I say, kind of cute. It was a far cry from the sleek, powerful machines he was known for, but it would go on to become his most famous creation. Talk about staying power. We're talking over 21 million Beetles produced over almost 70 years. That's like what, one car for every 3 people in California? Okay, maybe not that many, but you get the idea. This little car just kept chugging along from its humble beginnings in the 30s all the way up to 2003, when the last classic Beetle rolled off the line in Mexico. And let's be honest, how many other cars can you name that were still going strong after all that time? The Beetle just had that it factor, It was affordable, it was reliable, and it had that certain charm that made people fall in love with it. Plus, you could practically keep one running on spit and chewing gum. Now, I've seen a lot of cars in my time, but not many of them get to be movie stars. But the Beetle? This little guy was practically born for the silver screen. And no, I'm not just talking about those car chase scenes in those old Steve McQueen movies. I'm talking about Herbie, the love bug. That plucky little racing Beetle with a mind of its own captured the hearts of a generation. Heck, I even had a soft spot for that car, and I'm not even a big Disney guy. But that's the thing about the Beetle, it had this universal appeal. It didn't matter if you were a gearhead or a grandma, you couldn't help but smile when you saw that little car zipping around. Chapter 4. Early models were air-cooled and rear-engined. Okay, so maybe the Beetle wasn't exactly a powerhouse under the hood. But hey, you don't need a big V8 when you've got clever engineering, right? Take that air-cooled engine, for instance. No radiator, no water pump, just good old-fashioned air keeping things cool. Now I know what you're thinking. Jay, that sounds like a recipe for overheating. And you know what? You're not wrong. Those early Beetles could get a little toasty, especially if you pushed them too hard. But hey, that was part of their charm, right? Plus, it made them dead simple to work on. You could practically rebuild one of those engines with a screwdriver and a butter knife. Chapter 5, nicknamed Bug in the US and Käfer in Germany. Now every good car needs a good nickname, and the Beetle had too. Here in the States we kept it simple, the Bug. I mean, let's be honest, it kinda looks like one, doesn't it? But over in Germany they went with something a little more entomological. They called it the Käfer, which is German for beetle. Hey, I guess when you've got a car that iconic, you can call it whatever you want. But no matter what you call it, there's no mistaking that distinctive shape. It's like a Volkswagen fingerprint, instantly recognizable all over the world. Chapter 6. The final production Beetle was made in 2019 in Mexico. Well folks, all good things must come to an end. And in 2019, the Volkswagen Beetle finally drove off into the sunset. The last one rolled off the line in Mexico, where they'd been building them for decades. It was a bittersweet moment, seeing that last Beetle emerge from the factory. It was the end of an era, the closing of a chapter in automotive history. But hey, at least it went out with a bang, right? And who knows, maybe someday, Volkswagen will decide to bring back the Beetle. After all, they say everything old is new again, right? Outrow the end of an era. The Beetle held the record for the most produced single model until it was dethroned by the Toyota Corolla. Can you believe that? Over 21 million of these little guys were zipping around the world. But hey, that's just a testament to how much people love this car. It was simple, it was affordable, and it had more personality than a garage full of Ferraris. Love car facts? Hit that like button and subscribe for more short and sweet auto stories. One model at a time.